Hi students, today we are going to derive an expression for the force on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. This is one of the very important 5-mark expected question for this academic year. Okay. Now, what is the actual topic? There is a magnetic field which is uniform and which is perpendicular to the plane of the board. So the magnetic field lines are going into the board like this. They are going into the board. So these X marks indicate the uniform magnetic field whose induction is B. Then this is a cylindrical wire. So a cylindrical wire is placed like this, perpendicular to the magnetic field like this. A conductor is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field. And this conductor is carrying a current. Okay, it is a current carrying conductor. So what will happen when a current carrying conductor is placed inside a magnetic field? It experiences a magnetic Lorentz force. Is it not? So all the electrons flowing inside the conductor will be acted upon by a Lorentz force. So what is the net force acting on the current carrying conductor? That is the derivation. So for that, first you are supposed to draw the diagram, a cylindrical wire. So the area of cross section of the cylindrical wire is capital A. Everywhere it is capital A, uniform cross section. The total length of the conductor, total length is small l. And E is the charge of the electron. Since it is negative charge, we have taken as minus E. And the drift velocity with which the electrons flow inside the conductor is Vd. So it is from left to right. Okay. Then the force acting on each electron is denoted by small f vector. Small f is the force acting on one electron. So after drawing the picture in the board examination, better you write a small write up of the terms. What is small l? Small l is the length of the conductor. Now inside the large conductor, I will take a small portion which is called as the element. So this small element is having a length dl. Total length of the conductor is L. Then A is the area of cross section and Vd is the drift velocity. Now, since it is a uniform conductor, the number of electrons per unit volume will be constant. That is called the electron density. So that is denoted with the symbol small n. Capital N by V, total number of electrons divided by the total volume. That is called as electron density. Okay. So what is the current flowing through the conductor? This will be the first equation. So in this derivation, after the diagram, which is the first equation, already you have studied I equal to NAE into V drift. So this current is a scalar quantity, so this minus sign we are not introducing in this equation. So NAE into Vd. Okay. Now what is the magnetic force acting on one electron? First one electron. So its charge is minus E. Drift velocity is Vg and the magnetic field is B. So from the definition of magnetic Lorentz force, F vector is equal to Q into V cross B. Instead of Q, I am substituting minus E. Instead of V, drift velocity Vd cross B. This is equation 2. So equation 2 gives what? The force acting on only one electron. Then how many number of electrons are present in the small element? That is the next step. So you see here magnetic force on one small element, on this element. So that is denoted by what symbol you see? df vector. On one electron it is small f vector. On one element the force is df vector. So this is equal to number of electrons present in this element, capital N, into one electron. Total number of electrons into force on one electron. So this is equal to capital N is small n into V, small n into V from this, okay, capital N equal to small n into V into F, okay. Then what will be the volume of this small element? It is area A into length dl. So you can see here volume of the element is V equal to A into dl. So instead of this volume V, I am going to substitute A into dl. Therefore, this df vector is equal to capital N into A into dl into F vector. This is equation 3. So equation 3 gives what information? The force acting on one small current element. Okay. Then we can again rewrite this equation instead of F vector, this minus E into Vd cross B. Okay. Minus E into Vd cross B, when I substitute, df vector is equal to minus Na dl into E into Vd cross B after substituting for this force F. So finally what I get, I take all these terms grouped together except dl, all other terms I am taking here, you see, minus NaEVd minus NaEVd bracketed into this dl cross B. So this total term NaE into Vd, understand, this only is what I. So this product will give you another vector that is called as current element vector, IDL vector, crossed with B. Okay, and this is equation 4, very important equation. So df is still what? The force acting on one small element. So this is ideal cross B. Next is the force on the entire conductor. For the small element of length dl, what expression we have got is ideal cross B. Therefore, what next? The total length of the conductor L has to be substituted, is it not? Therefore, what is the force on the entire conductor must be equal to df vector is replaced by capital F vector equal to I into dl vector is substituted by what? Replaced by small l vector cross B. So F is equal to IL cross B. This is the final equation. Up to this, you have to compulsorily write in the exam. So my dear students, what is the final equation is F is equal to IL cross B. So here the magnitude of the force is given by the modulus of the vector F, and that is equal to scalar F, that is equal to ILB into sine theta. Okay, theta is the angle between the magnetic field and the direction of the current element. So magnetic field is into the board and the current element is perpendicular to the magnetic field. In this picture I have drawn like that. So theta is the angle between the current element and the magnetic field. So magnitude is given by ILB sine theta. Okay, up to this the answer for 5 mark it will be over. Suppose if you want to present little more better and best answer means you give some information, special case, what will happen for the force if theta equal to 0 and 90 degree. So if theta equal to 0 degree, ideal vector and B vector both will be in the same direction, isn't it? So the angle between them is 0, so sine 0 will become 0, so the conductor placed parallel to the field will not experience any force. Okay, so F is equal to 0. Suppose if theta is 90 degree, the case what I said, B is inward and the current element is perpendicular to B. Okay, so in this case theta equal to 90 degrees, sine theta is equal to 1. Therefore maximum force will be experienced by the conductor. So it must be ILB into sine 90, that is ILB. Still better if it is better if you write the direction of F is given by Fleming's left hand rule. We have studied Fleming's left hand rule. So statement is not required, at least you just mention in a word. That will be your best answer. So my dear students, this topic most students are considering it very tough and difficult and all. It is not like that. It is very simple. You just learn by sequence of steps. What I said, first you draw the diagram and describe the parts, label the parts. Okay, after that you start with which equation? Current I equal to NAE V drift. Next, force acting on one single electron, small f vector. Next, force acting on one small current element of length dl, that is df vector. Finally, the force acting on the entire conductor of length L, okay, that is capital F vector. Small f vector is on the electron, df vector is on force on the element, F vector is the force on the entire conductor. Afterwards, if you wish, you write the magnitude is IBL sine theta and the direction is given by Fleming's left hand rule. I hope you must have understood well. Wish you success.